He ignored me because I'm a woman. He instantly regretted it. I loved coding. Always had. The logic, the problem solving, the sheer satisfaction of building something from nothing, it was intoxicating. Even after years in the industry, the thrill hadn't faded. But the thrill was often overshadowed by the constant, low-level hum of sexism that vibrated through every meeting, every project, every damn day. My name is Evie Hayes, and I'm a software engineer. A damn good one, if I do say so myself. I work at a mid-sized tech company in Seattle. Good benefits, decent pay, but a culture that felt like it was stuck in the 1950s when it came to women in tech. Mark Thompson was the worst of it. Senior engineer, 10 years older than me, and radiating an aura of self-importance that could curdle milk. From day one, he'd treated me like I was some intern who'd wandered in off the street. He'd cut me off mid-sentence in meetings, mansplain basic coding concepts, and generally act like my ideas were about as useful as a screen door on a submarine. "So, Evie," he'd say, dripping condescension, "you think this approach is really the optimal solution?" He always emphasized the optimal, like I was too stupid to even grasp the concept of efficiency. My friend Sarah, who worked in the QA department, saw it all. "He's doing it on purpose, Evie," she'd said over happy hour one Friday. "He feels threatened by you. You're smarter than him and he can't handle it. Easier to tear me down than to admit he's not the smartest guy in the room, huh?" I'd replied, swirling the ice in my gin and tonic. "Exactly," Sarah said. "You need to push back. Don't let him get away with it." Easier said than done. David Miller, our project manager, was a nice enough guy, but utterly spineless. He saw Mark's behavior, I knew he did, but he avoided confrontation like the plague. He just wanted the projects to run smoothly, and challenging Mark was definitely not smooth. Our current project was a monster, a complete overhaul of the company's flagship software. A major contract was riding on it. Mr. Olson, the client representative, was a notoriously difficult customer. One screw up, and the whole deal could fall apart. The project was divided into modules. I got assigned the most complex one, the data processing engine. No one else wanted it. It was a tangled mess of legacy code and required a complete rewrite. Perfect, I thought. A chance to prove myself. I spent weeks buried in code, wrestling with algorithms, optimizing performance. I came up with a truly elegant solution. A modular, scalable engine that would significantly improve the software's speed and efficiency. I was proud of it. Then Mark started interfering. Subtle things at first. A misplaced semicolon here, a slightly altered variable name there. Errors that were difficult to detect, but enough to introduce instability into the system. I initially blamed myself. Long hours, stress, maybe I was just making stupid mistakes. I doubled down, spending even more time debugging, tracing errors, feeling increasingly frustrated and incompetent. "You look exhausted," Sarah said one morning, finding me slumped over my keyboard, red-eyed and clutching a coffee mug like a lifeline. "I can't figure it out," I confessed. "I keep finding these tiny errors in my code, things I swear I didn't do." Sarah peered over my shoulder at the screen. "Show me the commit history." We scrolled through the logs, comparing my original code to the current version. And then we saw it. Several commits attributed to Mark, making seemingly insignificant changes to my files. Changes that introduced the errors I'd been struggling with. My blood ran cold. He was sabotaging me, deliberately. "That son of a bitch," Sarah hissed. The crucial meeting with Mr. Olson was scheduled for the following week. A live demo of the updated software. Everything had to be perfect. I presented my module, feeling a knot of anxiety tightening in my stomach. I double-checked everything, triple-checked it, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was going to go wrong. And it did. Midway through the demo, the system crashed. Blue screen of death. Mr. Olson's face darkened. "What the hell is going on?" he demanded. Mark jumped in, all faux concern and helpfulness. "Looks like we have a minor technical glitch," he said smoothly. "Nothing to worry about. I've been anticipating potential issues." He proceeded to present a solution, a slightly modified version of my original code with the bugs fixed. He took all the credit. He basked in the praise. He completely erased my contributions. David, as usual, said nothing. He just looked relieved that the demo was back on track. I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. My hard work, my ingenuity, stolen and presented as his own. The injustice of it burned like acid. Later that day, I found Sarah in the break room. She took one look at my face and pulled me into a corner. "I saw the whole thing," she said, her voice tight with anger. "He's a parasite, Evie. You can't let him get away with this." "What am I supposed to do?" I asked, my voice trembling. "Go to HR. David won't back me up." It'll be my word against his. We need proof, Sarah said, her eyes gleaming with determination. We need to catch him in the act. We spent the next few days meticulously documenting everything. We tracked every change Mark made to my code, noting the timestamps and the specific errors he introduced. We compiled a list of instances where he dismissed my ideas in meetings or taken credit for my work. It was exhausting, demoralizing, but Sarah kept me going. We're going to nail him, Evie, she said. I promise you. He's not going to get away with this. As the project neared completion, Mark grew bolder. He completely sidelined me, taking over the integration of my module into the main system. He was so confident, so sure of his ability to steal my work and get away with it, that he became careless. That's when I had an idea. A risky one, but potentially devastating. I knew my code inside and out. I knew exactly where Mark had made his changes, where he'd introduced the bugs. I also knew how to exploit those vulnerabilities. I implemented a hidden failsafe in my original code, a piece of logic that would trigger under specific conditions that only Mark's modified code would create. When the failsafe triggered, it would display a message on the screen. This code was originally developed by Evelyn Hayes. It would also link to a detailed log of Mark's alterations and his attempts to cover up his actions. It was a digital breadcrumb trail, leading directly back to him. The final presentation to Mr. Olson and Mr. Henderson, the CEO, was scheduled for Friday morning. I spent the entire night before tweaking the failsafe, making sure it was foolproof, undetectable. Sarah stayed with me, offering encouragement and moral support. This is it, Evie, she said, as I put the finishing touches on the code. This is your chance to take him down. I walked into the conference room on Friday morning feeling a strange mix of fear and exhilaration. Mark was already there, beaming with self-satisfaction. David looked nervous, fiddling with his tie. Mr. Olson sat at the head of the table, his expression grim. Mr. Henderson was beside him, looking important. Mark launched into his presentation, confidently demonstrating the integrated system. Everything seemed to be going smoothly. My heart pounded in my chest. I waited for the right moment, waited for the failsafe to trigger. And then it happened. The system froze. A blue screen appeared, but this time it wasn't the blue screen of death. It was a custom-designed screen displaying the message. This code was originally developed by Evelyn Hayes. Below the message was a link. The room went silent. Mr. Olson's face turned purple. Mr. Henderson looked like he was about to have a stroke. Mark stammered, his face turning red. What's going on? He sputtered. There must be some kind of error. He frantically tried to regain control, but the failsafe was designed to prevent him from overriding it. I stood up. There's no error, Mark, I said, my voice surprisingly calm. That's a message I programmed into my code. It's designed to expose the changes you made and the credit you stole. I walked to the front of the room and clicked on the link. The screen displayed the detailed log of Mark's alterations, showing exactly how he'd sabotaged my work. This is proof, I said, gesturing to the screen. Proof that Mark has been deliberately undermining my contributions and taking credit for my work. Chaos erupted. Mr. Olson started yelling about the system malfunctioning. Mr. Henderson demanded an explanation. Mark vehemently denied the accusations, claiming that I was jealous and trying to sabotage him. She's lying, he shouted, pointing at me. She's just trying to make me look bad. I have the evidence right here, I said, calmly, and I'm sure a proper investigation will confirm my claims. Mr. Henderson, looking furious, ordered an immediate investigation. He turned to David. I want a full report on my desk by the end of the day, he snapped. Ms. Jenkins from HR was brought in to interview everyone involved. Sarah corroborated my story, providing additional evidence of Mark's discriminatory behavior. Other team members, witnessing the situation, started to come forward with their own experiences of Mark's arrogance and disregard for women's contributions. The investigation confirmed my claims. It revealed a pattern of similar behavior from Mark in the past. He had consistently undermined female colleagues and taken credit for their work. Mr. Olson, while still upset about the initial malfunction, acknowledged my crucial role in the project. He even offered his support, stating that he valued talent and integrity above all else. The following Monday, Mr. Henderson called a company-wide meeting. He stood at the podium, his face grim, and announced the results of the investigation. He publicly reprimanded Mark for his actions, stating that his behavior was unacceptable and would not be tolerated. He announced that Mark was being demoted and would be required to undergo sensitivity training. Then, he turned to me. Ms. Hayes, he said, his voice softening. "I want to apologize to you on behalf of the company. Your contributions to this project were invaluable, and it is deeply regrettable that you were subjected to such unprofessional and discriminatory behavior. You have shown remarkable resilience and ingenuity in the face of adversity. As a result, the company will offer you a promotion to senior engineer with a significant increase in your salary. We are also implementing new policies to ensure that all employees are treated with respect and fairness." The room erupted in applause. Sarah gave me a huge hug, her eyes shining with pride. Mark stood in the corner, his face ashen, his reputation in tatters. David, looking sheepish, approached me after the meeting. "Evie," he said, I'm sorry. I should have done more to support you. I won't make that mistake again." I nodded, accepting his apology. I knew he wasn't a bad person, just weak. Hopefully, this experience would make him stronger. A week later, I walked into my new office, the one that came with the senior engineer title. It was bigger, brighter, and had a much better view. I sat down at my desk, took a deep breath, and smiled. The battle wasn't over. Sexism still existed in the tech industry, and I knew I'd face challenges in the future. But this time, I was ready. I had proven my worth. I had stood up for myself, and I had won. I opened my laptop and started coding. The thrill was back, stronger than ever. And this time, it wasn't going to be overshadowed by anyone. I'm Evie Hayes, and I'm a software engineer. And I'm damn good at what I do.